Hey everyone, how's it going? Happy February. Hope you're all doing well. I want to welcome you to the How to Feel in Control Around Food workshop. And today we are getting into how to feel in control around food. So I'm really excited that you guys are here today. And before we get started, if you don't have a pen and paper to write on, go ahead and grab that now. We are going to be doing an exercise that you will need a blank piece of paper and something to write with. So grab that now. We're just doing introductions right now, so you're not going to miss anything. Okay. So during today's workshop, I will be sharing strategies to help you feel in control around food. So you can walk down the ice cream aisle at the grocery store and not have all that food drama on whether or not to get the ice cream to or not to get it. You can either take it or leave it, just really doesn't matter to you. You'll be able to attend a gathering and have cake sitting right in front of you without feeling anxious or feeling like, oh no, I feel like I'm scared I'm gonna eat it, or I'm afraid I'm gonna eat it, or if I have one bite, I'm gonna eat the whole thing. I just can't control myself around this. You'll just notice the cake and how beautiful it is, and then turn your attention to something else, someone else there, maybe talking with somebody, connecting with somebody. Um, You'll learn to drop the guilt and shame around eating like these quote unquote off limit foods and really embrace curiosity and compassion around our eating habits. You'll feel empowered about the choices you make around food and not feel like food is controlling you. And you'll be able to say no to foods without feeling deprived or that you are saying no because you have to. I want you to say no because you want to say no, not because you have to. Okay. So this is all possible for you when you follow the strategies that I'm sharing with you today on how to feel in control around food. And for those of you who do not know me, I'm Kisa Amaro. I'm a certified health coach and mindset coach, and I help women reduce their cravings so they can feel in control around food without deprivation or having to follow complicated meal plans. I am also the host of the Lose Your Cravings podcast, where I share tools and strategies to help you lose your cravings and feel in control around food. And I am a yoga teacher, which has definitely helped me bring awareness and mindfulness to my eating habits, which in turn has helped me to feel in control around food and really have compassion with myself through this process. And I'm also a mother to Antonia and a wife to Austin. Okay, so let's get started, my friends. I hope you have your paper. Today we are taking action. This is a workshop, so we're going to do some work. So I have an exercise that I've never used in a workshop before. I've never used it in any of my programs. So this is my unveiling of the river and bridge exercise. Now, by the end of this exercise, you will understand why you feel out of control around food and the exact strategy you need in order to feel in control around food. So go ahead and grab your blank sheet of paper and a pen or pencil, and I want you to draw a river down the center of your paper. It doesn't need to be fancy. It can literally be two parallel lines running down the center of your paper. Now, this river is essentially dividing your paper into two sides, the right side and the left side. So no need to label it. I just label it for reference. Okay, so you have your river in the center, you have left side, right side. Now I would like you to draw a bridge. Okay, so mine's kind of fancy because I have used Canva for this presentation and I just not Googled, I searched a bridge and this is one that came up. But it literally does not have to need to be anything fancy. But you have the two sides, a river running down the middle, and a bridge. So it can literally be a line from one side to the other. It does not matter. Okay, so now on the left, I want you to answer the following questions. I'll give you around a minute each. So I'm giving you time to think about and brainstorm and process these questions so you can answer each one individually. So no need to rush. I will give you plenty of time. Okay, so on the left side, you're going to answer the following questions. What is your biggest problem or challenge with food? What do you think the solution is? And why do you think this hasn't worked for you? Okay, 1 minute starting with the first question. What is your biggest problem or challenge with food? Go ahead and start now. About 15 seconds. And then go ahead and finish up question number 1, and we're going to move on to question number 2. You can always, if you're watching the replay, you can always pause me if you want to continue on working on this first question, but we're going to move to the second question. What do you think the solution is? Okay, 1 minute starting now. What do you think the solution is? What is the solution to your problem? There's no right or wrong answer here. Just what do you think the solution is? There could be many, right? Okay, about 15 seconds left. Okay, go ahead and finish your sentence, your thought, and we're gonna look at the third question. Why do you think this hasn't worked for you? Okay, so you have your problem, you have what you think the solution is. Why has this not worked for you? Okay, we'll go ahead and 1 minute starts now. Why has your solution not worked for you? Fifteen seconds left. Okay. Go ahead and finish your thought or sentence. And so you have on the left, you have what is your biggest problem or challenge with food? What do you think the solution is? And why that solution has not worked for you? Okay, so now we're going to be looking at the right side of the bridge. So I have a couple, or 3 questions for you to answer on the right side of the bridge. Okay, once again, I'll give you time to answer each one individually, but what do you want? How would you feel if you had that? And how would this affect your life? If you had this, how would this affect your life? Okay. So let's start with the first one. What do you want? If I could wave a magic wand and wake up one day and your problems, your food problems were all solved, right? What would your life be like? What is it that you want if all your food problems are solved? Okay, go ahead and start now. What is that desire, that want, that dream? 15 seconds. Okay, go ahead and finish your thoughts. And let's look at the second question. How would you feel if you had that magic wand was waved, you had exactly what you wanted, you had this perfect relationship with food? How would that feel? Right? So remember, a feeling is a one word descriptor. So like happy, sad, joyous, peace, um, relaxed. Like what, how would you feel? Okay, go ahead and right away. 15 seconds. Okay, go ahead and finish your thought. And we're going to look at the third question. How would this affect your life? Now, when we're looking at this, I want you to get as specific as possible. And I want you to think of like going through your day, like waking up in the morning. What is your life like? If you have all the wishes and hopes and dreams are manifested and you have no issues with food, everything's perfect, what would your life be like? When you wake up, you go get dressed, you exercise, you make some food, some breakfast, you go to work, working, maybe doing chores around the house, or maybe running errands out in public, you know, how is your life different? How do you interact with your kids, your spouse, your partner? Like, be very specific. Okay, so, um, go ahead and start. How would this affect your life? Okay, you have 1 minute. Oh, 15 seconds left. Okay, go ahead and finish that thought. You can always come back to it. You can always pause me if you're watching the replay. Okay. So, looking at the left, your bridge might look something like this. Like, we have this problem. Like, maybe I overeat. I can't stick to a diet or a meal plan. I don't have enough willpower. I always give in to these tasty foods that are at social gatherings or that like my kids have in the house. Okay. Um, I give in to cravings. My cravings are just so strong. I can't, there's like nothing I can do. Um, these might be some problems, not all inclusive, of course. You might have some additional issues or problems, things that you're struggling with, but these tend to be what people come to me for. You know, these are the problems that they're struggling with. And you think the solution is to restrict food, whether that's no sugar, like, oh, I'm just gonna get sugar out of the house, just not gonna eat carbs. It could be dairy, it could be any form of food. Exercise more. Oh, I just need to exercise more to burn off these extra calories. Like I ate extra, so I need to burn off more calories. Build more willpower. I need to build more willpower. I need more willpower. I need to like be able to resist these cravings. So many people think that this is the answer. This is the solution. Maybe it's keeping the craving foods out of the house. Maybe it's I need to be harder on myself. You know, I need to be more disciplined. Okay, who can relate? If this is you, comment yes in the chat. I want to hear from you. Comment yes. And if you would like to share anything else that you wrote down, comment in the chat. Okay. So looking at the right side of the bridge, this is what it might look like. Food freedom. I want food freedom. I want to feel peace around food. I want to feel in control around food. I don't want food to control me. I want to be able to say no and not feel deprived, right? I want to stop obsessing about food. I think about food all the time. I think about it when I wake up, when I'm eating, after I'm eating, before my next meal, after my next meal. I'm always thinking about food and calories and what I should eat and what I shouldn't eat. Right? I'll have more time. I'll have more energy. When I figure this out, I'll have more time and more energy. I'll have less food drama. I won't be obsessing about food. I'll feel confident in my body. I'll feel confident showing up, being in public, wearing cute clothes. I'll feel full and nourished. I'm not going to be hungry and deprived, but I'm going to be full and nourished. And I'm going to feel empowered. If I figure this out, I will be empowered. I will be unstoppable. Okay? Who would like to feel and experience this? Right? Like that, this sounds amazing. Food freedom, peace around food, feeling in control around food. No more obsessing about food, more time, more energy throughout the day. Less food drama, feeling confident in your body, feeling full and nourished, and feeling empowered. So you're probably starting to see that you are currently on the left side of the bridge and wanting to get to the right side of the bridge. Okay. But you're not quite sure how to get there, or everything that you've tried so far hasn't worked for you. And you feel stuck, you feel frustrated, you feel hopeless. You're just like, how do I can see it, I can see it, I can touch it, I can taste it, but how do I get to that other side? And I totally get it. I was there. I felt trapped in the never-ending cycle of restricting food to lose weight, feeling deprived of delicious foods, and then overeating them when I gave into my cravings and gaining weight. And this was leaving me feeling out of control around food. What I want to share with you is the bridge. This is the strategy to get you from the left side of the river to the right side of the river. Now, this is the strategy I use in my Transform Your Cravings one-on-one coaching program, where I help women feel in control around food without deprivation or having to follow complicated meal plans. So you will definitely want to write down these 4 steps. This is your toll, so to speak, over the bridge. This is how you get to the other side. Okay, ready, friends? Let's do this. Okay, the first thing we need to do to help you cross the bridge is to look at your mindset around dieting, around food, around your body, and see if it's serving you or not. In my coaching practice, I use the CBC model, or cognitive behavioral coaching model, also known as CTFAR. This helps you to see the way you see food. It helps you see the way you see food and your body, and to see if it serves you or not. Like, are these thoughts that I'm thinking about food and my body, are they serving me, or are they bringing me down? Are they holding me back? Are they causing my cravings? Are they causing me to feel deprived? Okay. If these thoughts don't serve you, we look at a way to shift your mindset that will create the result you want. Now, the 4 mindset shifts we need to make before we do anything else, like, this is the foundation. Your mindset is the foundation, and we can build upon that foundation. We can build this big, huge castle, like building, skyscraper, whatever you want, when we have a strong foundation, right? So, number 1, shift out of the all or nothing mindset. This is a way of thinking where you are either 100% perfect with your nutrition and exercise, or you are completely off your meal plan and exercise plan. This can also be categorized as perfectionism. If you aren't perfect with your food and your exercise, then you are not doing it right. And you may as well just eat whatever you want, sit on the couch all day, not do anything, right? It's like, I have to be 100% perfect, or I may as well just do nothing. Number 2, let go of diet culture. This is a big one, my friends. If you grew up in the US, then you are likely swimming in diet culture and might not even know it. This idea that you need to look a certain way, weigh a certain amount, or wear a certain size in order to fit in, to be successful, to feel confident, to be loved, this is diet culture. We have all had our own experiences with diet culture, but once we recognize that it is a system that we grew up in, and we can choose whether or not to continue to stay in it, right? We have a choice. Do I want to stay in diet culture, or do I want to break free from it? Okay. We can see how diet culture is shaping our thoughts about our body and our weight, and choose whether or not to continue to live within the confines of diet culture. Number 3, drop the good food, bad food mindset. Who here sees foods as either good or bad? I know I used to see foods as good and bad. I thought ice cream was bad, and that if I ate it, that it would make me fat, right? It would ruin my diet and ruin my progress, and really that I was a bad person for eating ice cream because I couldn't control myself around it. But when you let go of this idea of good foods and bad foods, something magical happens. You release the drama, the guilt, and the shame around eating the food. The food becomes less desirable, and you feel in control around the food. Okay, so the last mindset shift that you need to make in order to cross this bridge is body neutrality. Let's be honest, there's probably something you don't like about your body. Your thighs are too big, your stomach is too jiggly, or you have grandma arms, right? It's okay. This goes back to diet culture and having the ideal body type that let's be honest, is unattainable for 99% of us. But when we let go of hating our body and shifting towards this idea of body neutrality, we no longer have this this body hatred, this body shame, right? And we move towards body neutrality, having neutral thoughts about our body. Okay, so the 4 shifts: shift out of the all or nothing mindset, let go of diet culture, drop the good food, bad food mindset, and body neutrality. Okay, next, my friends, is food beliefs. So this is the next step over the bridge to help you feel in control around food, and that is to examine your food beliefs. So a belief is just a thought that you have thought over and over so many times that you believe it to be true. It's not necessarily a truth. Okay, this is the thing about beliefs. Beliefs can be total lies. They can be opinions. They can be facts that are not true. They are beliefs. They are things that we have thought so many times, we believe them to be true. So for instance, this thought, this belief, eating fat will make me fat. It is just a thought. It's a belief. It's not a truth. I'll never lose weight. That is a belief you have in yourself, not necessarily true. It's an opinion, right? I can't control myself around cookies. I 100% know that you can control yourself around cookies. I 100% know. That is just a thought. It's your opinion about yourself. Now that you may have been able to prove that true, right? You have probably overeaten cookies before, and I get that. But that does not mean that every single time you have to overeat cookies, okay? So these are just thoughts. That's it. When you examine your food beliefs and find out if you want to continue to believe them or not, you can shift your feelings and actions around food. So once again, we're using the CBC model. You are able to rewire your brain around food so you see food differently. You look and think about it differently, and you lose the desire for food you used to overeat, and you overeat food less. Okay, so number 2, working on your food beliefs. Now, the next step to get to the other side of the bridge is really understanding our hunger types. So this is understanding the difference between physical hunger and emotional hunger and how it shows up in your body. So we have 2 types of hunger: physical hunger and emotional hunger. So I want you to start to identify the signs of physical hunger and the signs of emotional hunger. We need to be able to differentiate between the 2. Because most likely, before you ever heard about the 2 hunger types, you probably just thought your desire for food was hunger. There's 2 different types, okay? So emotional hunger tends to be very sudden. Like you're sitting watching your favorite show at the end of the night, and all of a sudden you want some popcorn or ice cream. It's like, boom, ice cream, boom, cookies, boom, whatever food, insert food. It's like it just popped into your head. It can be very obsessive. You keep thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. And there's usually an emotion tied to this, right? Whether it's stress, whether it's loneliness, frustration, overwhelm, there's usually an emotion tied to emotional hunger, right? So physical hunger, on the other hand, it comes on slowly, right? And it's located in the belly, right? So we can feel it in our stomach. We can kind of feel like the growling or maybe just like the movement of our stomach. And we're like, oh, I'm physically hungry. So it comes on slowly. It's usually like anything can be appetizing, or a wide range. I won't say anything, but like a wide range of food will be appetizing to you. Like when you're physically hungry, It's like, oh, I would love like some chicken and some broccoli and maybe some sweet potatoes, or I'd love some chicken curry, or maybe some, I don't know why I'm on chicken, chicken tacos, fish tacos, how about that? Shrimp tacos. Um, but you have like this variety of food, right? It's not necessarily something that is sugary, carby, fatty, right? It's more of like a well-rounded, well-balanced meal. So physical hunger comes on slowly. You like a wide range of food would do. Um, and it's usually not tied to any emotion, right? Physical hunger is just physical. You feel it in your physical body, and food satisfies it. Okay, so understanding the difference between physical hunger and emotional hunger, and notice when they show up for you, because physical hunger is going to show up at different times than emotional hunger will. So we need to learn to differentiate those because we are going to approach them in their own way. With physical hunger, we use the hunger scale and we figure out how much food, what type of food will be nourishing, will satisfy me. With emotional hunger, we need to do a little more digging. We need to go a little deeper and we need to see what is the emotion behind this desire for food. Because I am desiring this food because I am experiencing an emotion that doesn't feel good in my body. And therefore, I want to grab some food, eat it, feel good, cover up negative emotion. So we approach them in their own way. So it's so important to differentiate. And so we can guide you, or as your coach, I guide you in the correct direction. Okay. So number 4, and this goes to emotional hunger, right? And that is emotional intelligence. And this is the final step to getting over the bridge to really feel in control around food. And that's to strengthen your emotional intelligence. So, most likely, if you grew up in the United States, you probably didn't have a class in school called emotional intelligence. You probably didn't have a class that taught you about emotions, what they are, how they show up in your body, how to name them, how to identify them, how to process and allow them in a way that serves you. No, we were taught, most likely we were taught to be like, suppress our emotions. Don't get upset about that. Don't cry over spilt milk. Oh, it's not that big of a deal. Don't worry about it. We'll worry about it later. We'll take care of it later. And so we're taught to suppress our emotions and to not necessarily, we don't have the tools or the skills to allow and express our emotions in a way that serves us. Okay. Now, I think often too, we think of this is what often happens when we're kids and growing. We get frustrated. We don't have the communication for it. We don't have the words for it yet. And so we throw a tantrum. We get mad and we stomp our feet and we're like, ugh, right? And our loving parents, loving caregivers, they are just doing the best they can. They are doing what they were taught. They're like, no tantruming. You need to stop that now. And so this teaches us to suppress our emotions, but it also teaches us that like that frustration, that anger is bad. Like anger is bad. And this is how you're supposed to show anger and frustration, is by kicking and screaming, but it's bad and don't do it. Versus, okay, I see you're feeling frustrated, or I see you're feeling angry. How can we communicate this in a way that serves you, that is safe for you, that's safe for others? So we want to allow emotions versus resisting them when we're working on emotional intelligence. We're not taught how to allow our emotions. We're learned how to resist them, suppress them, avoid them. But when we learn to allow our emotions, and that doesn't mean kicking and screaming and crying and yelling, but it means to notice them in our body, to be present with them, to allow them to be there without acting on them. Okay, and I use a technique called riding the wave. And it goes through a 3-step process of, first we need to breathe, because we're probably frustrated or stressed or angry or something. We need to breathe, which brings us back to like this moment. It brings us back to being mindful of what's going on versus being in our head. So it like gets us out of our head and into our body. Because when we're in our head, our thoughts are spinning and we're so frustrated and we're so mad and angry. And I just want to grab this food to make it go away. Okay, no, I just need to take a breath, get out of my head, get into my body, name the emotion. So take a breath, name the emotion. What is the emotion I'm feeling? Is it frustration? Is it anger? Is it sadness? Is it loneliness? Is it agitation? And then I need to allow that emotion in my body. Allow it to be present. Takes on average 90 seconds for your body to experience an emotion, which is just a vibration in your body. And you allow it to release. It's like a wave. Wave comes, it crests, and then it eventually breaks and it flattens out. Okay. And then finally, through this process of developing your emotional intelligence, of allowing emotions, of riding the wave, we must have curiosity through this process. Sorry. We must have curiosity when we are developing this emotional intelligence. Because guess what? You're not going to get it right the first time, and that's okay. We get curious about, I wonder why. Why didn't I want to feel that stress? Why didn't I want to feel the agitation, the loneliness? And why did I choose to eat instead? I wonder why. And from there, like getting curious and finding those answers, that is our path to success, my friends. Okay, getting curious is the way we're going to find that path. We're going to see the path appear, we're going to go down it, and we're going to be successful. Okay, so emotional intelligence, I want you to allow emotions versus resisting or suppressing. I want you to ride the wave, take that breath, identify the emotion, and feel that emotion in your body, and have curiosity through the process. Okay, my friends, so just to recap, your path over the bridge, number 1 is to make those 4 mindset shifts I shared with you. Those mindset shifts are your foundation. Next, looking at your food beliefs, re-examining them. Do they serve me? Do I want to continue to believe these? If not, what am I going to believe instead? Number 3, understanding your physical and emotional hunger, differentiating them and approaching them in their own way. And then number 4, developing your emotional intelligence. How do I process and allow emotions so I'm not using food to cover up these negative emotions? Okay, my friends, let's go back to your bridge. So seeing you on the left and seeing what you want on the right, does this seem possible? Okay, does it feel possible to get to the other side with the 4-step strategy that I shared with you today? Okay, I want to hear in the comments. Let me know. Does it feel possible? Do you have a little more guidance, a little more direction? And are these completely new things that you've never tried before? Because maybe they are, and maybe they're a little like, whoa, I'm not sure about this, because I've always started with food. I've always looked at my food when I'm eating, counting calories, macros, eliminating food. But guess what? That never works. It does not work. And in fact, it is part of the problem. Part of the problem is that you are restricting food, you're counting calories, you're obsessing about food. We need to get away from that. Okay. So I wanted to share some resources with you to help you dive deeper into these strategies. I have 3 episodes of my Lose Your Craving podcast that support this talk that I shared with you today. Lots more, but these are just 3 that I pulled out. So in episode 3, food beliefs, we talked about food beliefs. That's one of the steps. Episode 7, allowing emotions or riding the wave. And episode 65, hunger types. We talked about the physical hunger and the emotional hunger. So these are episodes that can take you and you can dive deeper into each specific topic and help support you along the way. And if you are ready to feel in control around food, so you can really walk down any aisle of the grocery store and not feel the pull of the tempting foods, then I invite you to join my Transform Your Cravings one-on-one program. Okay. In this program, you will learn my 4-pillar strategy. We will dive deeper into it. We will expand on each. You will get personal coaching on each of the 4 pillars. And there's, of course, much more to each pillar. But I tailor it to you. And these 4 strategies help you get to the other side of the bridge, to help you feel in control around food, to feel at peace around food. I want you to just let go of food drama, not feel pulled by foods as you walk down the grocery aisle. I want you to trust yourself around food and have any food in the house without this fear of overeating it. And I want you to take back your time and energy you spend meticulously planning food and counting macros or calories. And I want you to feel confident to show up fully in your life and in your career because you feel confident in yourself and around your food choices. So if you are ready to solve this once and for all, book a call with me and we can chat about what you're struggling with, where you want to go, and how I can help you get there. This call is completely free. There's no obligation. It's basically a chance for us to talk so we can see if we would be a good fit to work together. Now, my Transform Your Cravings one-on-one program is a 6-month program and is only $1,800 for the 6 months or $300 a month. I will pop my calendar link into the comments and you can book a call now. Okay, my friends, I hope to chat with you. What is one insight or takeaway from today's workshop? I would love to hear from you. You can go ahead and put it in the chat. And then what is one thing you will do to help you feel in control around food? Okay. Okay, my friends, I want to thank you for joining me today during this workshop to help you feel in control around food. I hope that bridge, river and bridge exercise was helpful really for you to see where you are and where you want to go and the steps you need to take in order to get there. Okay, we will see you next time, or I'll see you on a one-on-one call. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Okay, bye y'all.